Alright, got our new carburetor and the new, let me get that out of here. Got the new gasket and all the parts that came with it for this 1982 F150. So let's get it set up and get it done. Alright, after messing with it a little bit, some adjustments, stuff like that, I get everything hooked back the way it was. And I would say, this is my first time working on a one barrel carburetor. There's some adjustments I can get to make it a little more smooth, but starts right up and runs pretty smooth. Not a lot of shaking there, you can tell. I do have this vacuum line to repair. This vacuum line to repair to here, and then I have two vacuum lines over here that on this new carburetor don't have a home. So I will have to find where they go, or just cap them off, which that might be what we have to do here. But overall, pretty good for a little one barrel. Don't have a colored smoke come out the back saying we're over fueling or under fueling. So we'll go ahead and make some more adjustments here, get it all put back together, and take it for a test drive. I will have to buy, like I said, the vacuum lines there, and this check valve that got burnt up, we'll find that too. Alright, let's try this 1982 F150. We got a temp gauge going up. Uh-oh. Starts right up. Temp gauge going crazy. Let's make sure we're not overheating this bad boy here. We'll give it a little while and check what's going on with the coolant. Alright, I'm gonna say our temp gauge is off because I see nothing leaking down there and it's cool to the touch. Hadn't been running long, I just pretty much got it running after adjusting the carburetor, so we'll mess with that later. Let's drive down the road here and see if our throttle response is everything we need it to be. Oh, we already got some. We might have to push this sucker back on the driveway. I didn't get very far at all. Almost like we flooded it. Yep. All right, let's try it again. After some more adjustments, stuff like that. Starts right up. Sounds pretty good. We're gonna need some fuel. It died on the shit. That's a good sign. She seems to be driving pretty good. Here's a stop sign test. Let's see if it'll idle at the stop sign. Yeah. I can say I obviously need, yeah, that's a stop, good enough. I obviously need some more adjustments. Get it running a little smoother, that idle and gear anyway. That idle and park, it runs real smooth. So, and that might be part of that vacuum stuff that I still have to replace. Yeah, this thing's running just fine. That was 25 miles an hour there, so not falling out on us. Yeah, that's 30. Oh no, I mean 20. See, it's speed limit sign. Yeah, we's going 20. Yeah. Nah, I think this thing's gonna be fine. We'll do a little bit of, we'll get the vacuum lines replaced. Maybe do a little bit more adjusting, but I think this is gonna take care of our carb issue. It barely wanted to run at all before we had to replace the carb, so I think this is it. Give it a little bit, see what we got. Y'all ready? Yeah. And back to our yard full of cars here. Well, will it start? It will now. And it'll run pretty good too. It's still showing hot on the temperature gauge. The hoses are barely, I mean, I'll check it. We'll see what else is going on with it, but I think that's it. I think it's just showing that. So we'll do a little bit more to this. Probably replace this old ass radio here. It's extreme sound, and they cut around here, so we'll have to make this look a little better with something. I don't know, we can go to the junkyard or maybe order a piece like this off the eBay or something. But this one does have the dealer installed AC. It does need a charge because there is a slow leak. It's got the headlight switch in the floor for bright lights. And anyway, yeah, this thing's about done. We're not gonna do too much to it. Somebody's already buying it. They want it, you know, cheap, but they want a good truck. I think after doing this little bit of work to it here, oh, that's tough. Anyway, after doing this little bit of work we did and a little bit more we got to do, this will be a good truck for them. Well, it's raining today. As you can see, this truck is wet. We are working on this truck. It's already sold and gone, but sold it to he's technically not my dad, he's my stepdad, but we sold it to him. I call him my dad. And we're going to kind of fix it up for him. You can see I got the valve cover off and painted because the valve cover gasket was bad. It started raining today, so we haven't been put back on, but I painted it, and then I put the power by Ford on with some white lettering. And there is the intake cover, the carburetor cover, I should say. Went ahead and painted that and cleaned it up and painted it while I was out. And if you could see right there, we put a double din in the dash. Which I should have did a video on. I didn't. What they had in there, you know, when it comes from the factory, it has the one with the knobs on it, and it has a little wood grain around it. Well, they had cut it out very shittily and put this in here, which is I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says, oh, it's upside down. It says extreme sound. It was a little cheap ass radio in the 90s. It's real cheap now, but anyway, somebody wants that. That's a 90s radio right there. CD player. Let me know, and I'll sell it to you for like, you know, $300-400. That's pretty fair. I know what I got. Don't try to talk me down. But anyway, I've got to take this back out. When they hook the wiring up to that radio, they put the ignition power and battery power, or sorry, the memory power, the yellow wire, on the same one. So when you turn the ignition on, it comes on. When you turn the ignition off, it goes off. But it will not hold your radio stations and the Bluetooth that it now has. So when I take this back out, I'll kind of show you guys how we did it. We got to replace the dash and everything anyway, and the dash lights, only one of them work. So we got to have all this back apart. When we do, I will show you guys how we did it when I fix this. Now, is it perfect? No. Is it still good and tight and doesn't look terrible? It looks a lot better than it did too. And also, oh, drop the keys. Also, this has Apple Play. So this 1982 F150 now has doubled in Apple Play radio. But you see this little silver line here? See, it won't hold a radio station. We got to replace the speakers too. But anyway, this silver line right here, what we did was we just took and scored it with our with a blade, like a razor blade knife, and we scored it all the way around the silver line. And then we just kind of broke it around until it came out, and then we just kind of took the file and filed the edges down to get it where it fits a doubled in. Now, I've looked and looked. I haven't seen this truck with doubled in. And right here is where you hook to the Apple CarPlay, and it actually has also Android. But it's a pretty nice radio. I can't start the truck right now because it's still got the valve cover off, like I said. But man, it's good. It starts right up with this new carb. It's got a new fuel pump. It's got a new starter, a newer starter. We got a lot of things planned for this truck. Hopefully you come along. We're gonna change these stock seats out to some bench seats with a armrest. We're gonna replace these door panels here. That one's a little sun damaged and broken. This one's sun damaged. We got to replace these. They're hanging. We're going to replace the mirror there. Got a whole list. We're going to take this. We're actually going to put a flag on it and put it back up. And then replace the dash, of course. Now, we do have to be careful. These, in every truck I've seen of this body style, is broke. And this one's not. So we have to be real careful taking it off because it's hard to find. This dash piece, I got an LMC catalog just to see what the prices are on there. Even on the LMC, which is a lot better parts than crappy ass eBay most of the time. These are $119, and the door panels for the set are $200, so they're about $100 a piece. So we'll go black here, and black over there, and they'll kind of tie in with the black floor, and it's going to look pretty good. We'll do, you know, a little cleaning up around here to make it look a little better, but it actually looks pretty good from what it did look, and it works great. So we'll go from there. And here's the remote. This is an ashtray here, but he doesn't smoke, so we're thinking about finding a way to make that into a cup holder. But these seats are also going to have a cup holder too, so it's not a big deal. We can't figure out a way. But anyway, guys, stay tuned. If you like content on this 82 F150, it does have the straight six in it. And we're going to make some content. We're going to find some good wheels for it, clean it up real nice. At some point, he's going to repaint it, but the same colors most likely with a two-tone there. And, man, we're going to get this thing ready for some shows. It's going to be cool. It's a cool old truck. Oh, there's the new carburetor. There's the new valve cover. Well, freshly painted. We'll clean all this up where it was leaking real bad. New fuel pump. Get out of here. What are you doing? Damn pine needle. Yeah, it's got a little cleaning to do. We'll go ahead and put our carb cover back on, but we'll clean this up a little bit more where we got some grease on it, putting it on. But it looks a lot better, and man, that sounds a lot better. It's actually running steady now. You don't hear the valves. We went and adjusted the valves while we had it open. So yeah, we're gonna do something about these wheels too. These old hubcaps just ain't, the look just ain't doing it. But anyway, all right, well, we're gonna take it apart. We got two new door speakers and a center dash speaker. There's nothing there right now, so I'm thinking it's gonna be 6x9, but we got to pull this back apart anyway to make it where it has a memory. And then also we're gonna replace all these dash light bulbs with some LED ones. So let me get this all apart and we'll look at it from there. Well, in case y'all are wondering, this in the center dash looks to be a 5x7, not a 6x9. So I could undo this and kind of shape it out for a 6x9, or I can go get a 5x7, which I think I'm going to do, because 6x9 will be too big anyway it goes. So while I'm waiting on that, I'll go ahead and pull this off. I've got the screws out up here, it's loose. I've got the knobs off, but I got to take these little things off here behind it. Knob off here, I got to get this knob off, which you just got to pull that thing out to get. So let's get it on back apart. Well, we got the radio back out hanging there. What I was talking about with the 12 volt or the memory is they had just spliced it straight into the ignition power. So your radio does go on and off with ignition, but it doesn't keep any radio stations or now Bluetooth or anything in the memory. So we got to take this and we got to find a constant power to hook this to. So we'll get our multimeter out here and I'll start looking for power that's on when the ignition's off. And then after that, I'll show you guys what I find. Alright, so I've got my behind the cigarette lighter there. I went ahead and pulled the thing there. And with the ignition off, I have 12.5 volts. So we're going to splice into that. That way we can keep the cigarette lighter or the power thing there. And that'll give us our constant battery power. Alright, well, now we got the radio in there, and you can see we kind of cut all around this plastic here in the dash to make this radio fit. We did have these little side guards came with the radio. They bolt to the side and they hang over. So that's where we got it screwed to on both sides, so it doesn't move around the dash. Somebody can't just pull it out. You could put some more screws in it if you were worried about it, but 2 screws actually holding it pretty well, so we haven't messed with it. Now we did adjust it, you know, up and down and everything so it would fit in the dash. When you put this on, it just kind of clips at the bottom here and folds up, and that'll sit in there. Now we'll do some more adjusting a little bit side to side and up to make it fit exact. After that, these 2 screws, when the dash is on, go right in there and it holds it up, and that's it. So for this radio, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You hook it right there to it. It does have Bluetooth. I went ahead and ran some wires from the left rear speaker because there's no left rear speaker, but the radio has it, for the 5x7 in the dash here. And I've still got to replace the lights. I've got all the knobs off except for this one. I'm using my little tool to hit this little notch here, and it's still not wanting to come off. So I'm going to play with it some more and hopefully get this off and put our new bulbs in and get this thing all buttoned back together. Well, after messing with this thing for a few hours, I've decided the only way I'm gonna get that off is to break it. I've got the right tool and everything to do it. It's just not coming off. So I went ahead and ordered a new one, and I'll do the dash lights after we get the new one in, because it's gonna have to break. So I'll go ahead and, well, maybe I can, yeah, I'll go ahead and wait till we get the new one in and do dash lights. We got the radio in. I've got these 5x7 or 6x8 speakers. I'm thinking that's gonna fit right in the dash there, and we'll get the dash all buttoned back up and we'll call it a day. Or maybe I'll go ahead and cut this off and just have the knob to pull in and out until the new one comes in. But I'll play with it later. We'll see what I do. All right, well, it actually fit in there quite nice. And it's sealed up pretty good all the way around it. So 5x7, 6x8. There we go.